Everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023, and this is FlossTube number 92. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are new here, this is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Every now and then I might talk about quilting or crochet or some other stitchy goodness, but for the most part, this is a channel about cross stitch, and today it is all cross stitch. I do talk about my personal life, but I try to keep that at the end. So if you're not interested in my personal life, you can move on to the next FlossTube. Okay, so let's get down to business. First of all, on my, I believe it was FlossTube number 90, 89 or 90. Sorry, I should have written this down. I did a giveaway for reaching 1,000 subscribers. And I have yet to hear from two of the ladies. The first one is for number 1, and that was won by Kara Dayhoff, and she won this one. And number 3, it was won by Jennifer Barnes, and she won this one. If I do not hear from you guys by Monday the 16th, I will redraw. I draw first thing in the morning on Tuesdays. And so that just makes it easier because that's when I start getting ready for my video. So if I don't hear from you, if I wake up Tuesday and I have not heard from you Tuesday morning, I'm going to redraw. So, like I said, if you're one of those two ladies, Kara Dayhoff or Jennifer Barnes, please get back to me. Hold on one second. Sorry, my big mouth dog is barking at the neighbors. Anyway, okay, so let's get to my stitching. So the first thing that I worked on is my 25/7 piece, which is Amid Amish Life. This was in a 1986, I believe it was 3 issues in the summer. They're originally done as 3 separate pieces. Y'all got that? I'm doing mine like this, 1 piece. So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I normally have it screenshot and I didn't do that. Okay, anyhow, so I am doing mine as 1 piece. I am working on this 25 minutes a day, 7 days a week. Now, there are some days that I might get more than 25 minutes because I am watching an interesting floss tube that's maybe 30, 40 minutes long. So it does get a little more love than just 25 minutes, but that's what it is. Now, 25/7 is a Facebook group, and I'm going to link it down below, and I'm also going to link the YouTuber who has it, and oof, I can't remember her name. I need to write this down. But anyway, it's a Facebook group committed to stitching either 25 stitches or 25 minutes a day. So here it is. Yay. Okay, so I've not worked on the barn. I tell you what, I worked right here. I stitched this silo that's supposed to go right here in the wrong color. So I had to rip it out. So I said, you know what? I'm going for the field. So I worked on the field right here. I did all this. This is complete. This is complete. So this week I am hoping to get at the barn and get that done. And this will take me, like this right here is page 2. So hopefully this will get me a little bit more into page 2. And so this part of it is Gathering the Harvest, I believe. It's 3 different names. But that is it. I do have back stitching to do, and I do try to like I'll need to back stitch these hay piles. And then I'll need to backstitch what goes right here. I try to backstitch as I go so that it's not something that overwhelms me at the very end. Sorry, I have a Michael's order that's ready. Anyhow, so this is my 25/7 piece. I am still in love with it. I don't know how I'll feel when I get to the 3rd section, but for now, I'm in love with this, and it's gonna stay my 25/7 till it's finished. I'm kind of doing an experiment with myself to see how long it would take me, and I think I started this in October. I have it written down how long it would take me to finish it, just doing 25 minutes a day, 7 days a week. So it's kind of a little experiment for me. There you go. Okay. The next thing I stitched on was God Shed His Grace. This is a Sunday project that I am doing with several other FlossTubers and a few Instagrammers. And we are doing this on Sundays. It's called God Shed His Grace. I am doing a version by the Cross Stitch Studio. They are all doing one by Artisy, but this is what I already had it. So I was like, well, I'm going to do it. So I'm doing the cropped version. This is a artwork by Abraham Hunter. Right here. And I got this weekend 329 stitches. My husband and I watch The Chosen every Sunday, and I usually start stitching while he's watching football, and then that way I can kind of focus a little bit more on The Chosen. But anyway, my point is I do stitch it while watching The Chosen, but for the most part I watch. So this is it right here. So I moved on down into a little darker part right here, and my goal is next Sunday to actually move over this way. I would love, love, love to get the whole width of the chart done, because I don't do any like specific method. I kind of do a modified color completion. I pick a color and I'll stitch until I run out of stitches or I run out of thread. So that's just kind of how I do it. And so but next week when I pick it up, I'm going to try to move over this way. So that is it right here. This is done on an 18 count easy grid. Most of my stitching's done on 18 count. Mid Amish, I think, is a 32 count even weave, mainly because it was the right color blue. And it has fractional stitches, so that's even weave. But that's it right there. I'm finding that I am enjoying, that's all gonna fall, hang on, full coverage pieces and beaded pieces, which, you know, if you've been watching me for a while, I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna do that. I also said I'd never have a bunch of whips from there, and then there's that. Okay, so the next thing I worked on was another full coverage. Now this was my weekly focus full coverage, mainly because it is a mystery that is coming out once a month, twice a month, I think. Anyway, it's by the Cross Stitch Studio. It's called In the Garden, and we got the first page on Christmas Day, and we'll get the next page on the 15th, but the Christmas Day one was supposed to come out January 1st. Anyway, so this is called In the Garden, and this is how much I've done. Again, 18 count easy grid. These right here are just waist knots. I just put them up there until I can do enough stitches over them, and then it saves me from having to run under. But like, I'm getting to the point where like up here I can't do that anymore because I only have like 2 or 3 stitches per square. But I did. No, dang it! I thought I completed a square. No square completion. So that is it right here. I need to like set aside a day where I focus on this so that I don't get too far behind. Because if I make this a full coverage focus just like once a month, it's not going to get done. So I need to do something about it. So I at least kind of stay caught up. But this is it right here. I do like, she's my Stitch Diary on Instagram. Can't think of her channel name, but she does the wheel where she spins it, and she has to put in a certain amount of stitches before she moves on to the next one. That's kind of an idea. I try to do 1,000 stitches on a focus, which I didn't meet this one. I did 560. Well, I did 560 this week. I did some last week. So that is that. That is In the Garden. Okay. The next thing I did, this is a piece that if you have been watching me for a while, you'll know that I picked this kit up at a thrift store. It was started on the wrong count, dark blue, 36 even weave. It was actually linen, so that's even worse. But anyhow, I'm talking about Blue Moon Angel by Lavender and Lace. This was a kit, so I re-dyed some 16 count Aida. It's supposed to be done on 32 count, so I figured 16 count Aida is pretty good. That's it right there. And this is everything. This is her in all her beauty. I love this piece. And then I worked on this right here. I was hoping to finish her whole little part right here. This whole little part, that didn't happen. But that's what I got done. I just decided to pick the one symbol that had the most stitches, and I stitched it, and I just kept working around it. And so she's getting done. Don't know when I'll finish her, but she's fun. Okay. And then I worked on a Carolyn Manning. This is a stitch along. It's $15. And then every month she sends you a new chart. And it is called My Grandma's Jewelry Box. Look at those beads. So this is what I got done right here. Again, I choose a color. I stitch it. When I run out, I choose something else. So that's why you have all these random pieces everywhere. So this is it right here. It does call for Mill Hill beads, which I do have some, but they're not organized. And so I do have some gold beads that I am using for this next piece that I'm going to show you, but I don't want to use them because I don't want to run out. So I need to get me some new gold beads. So this is it right here. It's so pretty. When I saw the colors, I was like, But then I put them together. I did have to sub out the green. I just went one number. No, I did the search where you could search for, you know, DMC alternatives. And this color number came up. And it was, to me, it was the closest. So that's it right there. Lovely, lovely. All right, and that is Grandma's Jewelry Box by Carolyn Manning. And like I said, it's not a bad price. I didn't think it was a bad price. Okay, and then the last thing I stitched was Shannon Christine's 12 Days of Christmas. This was her 2022 Christmas Club. I'm working on day 1. My goal is to, in January, stitch on day 1, February, stitch on day 2, and just kind of work my way through that. And hopefully by doing that, I will finish. So this is what I have done right here. It doesn't look like I will. I really need to give it a good bit of time. I gave this almost a half a day. So that's what I have done. It was, in my defense, all this is metallic. And I use, if you've been with me a while, you know that I buy a lot of my stuff at thrift stores and estate sales and whatnot. And so a lot of what I get is just stuff that somebody else had. And so this, I believe, is the old style DMC, like 5282 or something. You know, honestly, it's not that bad to stitch with. I just cut maybe 18 inches, fold it in half, take my time, and just go slow. And it's fine. It's fine. There's one that I gotta say I really hated stitching with, and it was a cheap kit from the 80s. So there's that. But this was not bad. It wasn't bad at all. Small strands, take your time. So this is all this. So I'm hoping that this week I can spend a little bit more time and maybe get this side. This is all bead. Like, this is surrounded by beads. And then there's the metallic threads. And so right here. And so hopefully I can get this done, get the beading done, and then work my way up. So that is it right here. And that's it. That is my stitching. So my plans for this coming week, what I've decided to do in my little book right here, and this is my planner for this year, it has a this week section. And so what I decided is I go through my whip list, and this is my whip list right here. These are whips that I obviously going into 2023, and these are my new starts that I want to do. I go through my whips and I choose one from each category, which is full coverage or scenic, fancy, which has beads and specialty stitches, samplers and others, and then there's my ornaments, which is the and these are going to remain consistent, and that is my Shannon Christine and my Carolyn Manning. Those are smalls that I'll pick up on if I just have a few minutes to stitch, and so that's kind of how I'm doing it. So I choose one from each category, basically these 3 main categories right here. And so the categories for the fancy, I'm going to stitch on my Queen Elizabeth. I'm going to stitch on Mini Patchwork Quilt Room. I'm excited about getting back into that. Hopefully I can get 1,000 stitches in. I try to do 100 a day. If I can do 100 a day, I feel like I've really put some effort into it. I know. I could probably do more if that's all I stitched on, but anyway. I'm going to work for my sampler. Sampler and others. I'm going to do Joyeux Noël by Blackbird Designs. I need to get that done. I want it done for Christmas. That's one of the ones I'd like to have that and Christmas Garden. I would like to have those 2 finished. In a perfect world, I would love to have City of Romance done. But that's a full coverage scenic, but it's not in Pattern Keeper. So I need to, I do it by time, if I can give it an hour a day. So that's how I do that. Anyway, and then continue with the Shannon Christine ornament and the Carolyn Manning Grandma's Jewels. So that's it. That is my stitching. That's all I've done. Not all. I mean, I did quite a bit this week, considering. I'm finding that having a little bit of a plan works for me. Because sometimes I think I spend too much time trying to decide what I want to stitch. You know what I mean? And so not only that, but I changed my method of stitching after watching Stitching Mommy and talking it over with some full coverage people. And I have a master set of DMC sitting next to me on the sofa. It's in one of those double-sided boxes from Michaels. And it's what Stitching Mommy does. She mentioned it, and I kind of watched some older videos of hers, questioned her about it. And it has helped me. Like, I can just, in my bag is my chart, if it's a paper chart, and the piece that I'm working on. And that's it. I don't have to worry about colors. I don't have to worry about, you know, do I have the right floss? Because like I said, most of what I use is DMC. If it's something that has like metallics or some kind of specialty fiber, which I don't use a lot of, that will be in the bag with the pattern, the chart and the actual fabric. So that has helped me get a lot more done, get a lot more stitching done, because I'm not so busy picking up one piece, packing it away, trying to decide what I want to do, making sure I have everything. And not only that, it's saving me some money, because I can start a full coverage and not have to go out and buy 90 new skeins of floss. So, and I figured if Stitching Mommy does it and she does a lot of full coverage, then it's okay. So that is what I've started doing. So that really, really helps me get a lot more stitching done. I stay home, you know, except for household stuff and making these videos. I really don't do much else. I do teach a class on Tuesday nights, and those are about to start up. So Tuesday stitching will be cut short. But for the most part, you know, I'm home. I have more stitching time than a lot of people do, and I'm blessed. And I, you know, I understand that that's a blessing. So anyway, so I do have more stitching time. So I do get a little bit more done. But I enjoy it, and it keeps me sane. So anyway, so that's all my stitching. So those are the things that are kind of helping me. I like having a little bit of a plan, and I do use the Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostic to kind of help me with that. So anyway, so having lists and plans do help me out. As much as I hate making them, I need them. So anyway, so that is all of my stitching. I do have one little bit of happy mail. I got a New Year's card from Laura at Stitching by the Shore. Thank you, Laura. If y'all don't watch her, y'all need to go watch her. She is amazing, and she does wonderful, wonderful things. She kind of got me her Stitching Mommy kind of got me stuck in the full coverage rabbit hole that it is, and I am grateful to them for that. So anyway, so that's it. That's all I have for stitching. I'm going to talk just a little bit about personal stuff next. So if you don't want to watch that, thank you for coming by and watching my stitching, seeing what I have. If you have any questions, post them down below. I will answer them. I try to answer my questions on video, but I haven't had a whole lot. So there's that. Okay, personal. Not much. It was our anniversary Saturday. My husband was supposed to take off Friday, like I said last week. His interview went well. He said it was 15 minutes long. Retired educators, one person from the nonprofit that's sponsoring this thing. I don't remember who it was, but anyway, he said it went well. I think he prepared longer than the actual interview, which we all know is par for the course, but anyway, he said it went really, really well. Now we just wait. I think it's a black tie event. And so he's going to have to, I assume, go to that. I don't know. We've not done it for this school system when we lived in Tennessee. He was up for Teacher of the Year in that county. And it was a business formal type event. We got dressed up, but not like dressed up. And we went to that, and so that was fun. But I think that's kind of what this is. Not sure, but anyway, so we just wait to see when that happens. So our anniversary was Saturday. We went for a drive. We got some breakfast. We were hoping to find some king cake slices. They are hard to find. Most people sell king cakes, and they're huge, and I don't need a full king cake at my house. So it is officially king cake season, Mardi Gras ball season. So that's in full swing here. We don't do any of that except for the king cake. Do y'all hear him? He's whimpering at my door because he can't come in. I blocked his way. So we're in full swing there. So we just kind of went to an antique mall that we really enjoy going to. It's kind of, it always gives me decorating ideas. I don't buy anything because I've inherited so many antique stuff that normally I'm drawn to, which is great because I don't have to buy them. But so I just go there to get decorating ideas and like, oh, I think I have something like this. I need to utilize that, and I can show them like my ideas. So we had a great time. We came home. We got lunch, then we came home, watched TV a little while, and then we went out to dinner. And that was it. You know, it was 34 years. And so, it wasn't a milestone, you know, we made 34 years. I'm kind of impressed with that, but, so that's what we did. And then we, you know, we just came home and watched TV and, you know, went to church the next day. But anyway, I had the kids over last night. I made a gumbo. It wasn't that cold, but there was a nip in the air, so that in my husband's opinion is gumbo weather. So I made a gumbo, and we had that. And our middle son and his I call him my middle child. He's my youngest son. Him and his wife came over. They're fasting. They're doing a Daniel fast. And because our church is doing 21 days of prayer and fasting, so they chose to do a Daniel fast. I did that one year, and it was kind of fun. It was definitely limiting, but it was really good. And yeah, you know, I fasting is a good thing. I think it's a good thing spiritually. I think it's something that really helps you reprioritize, focus, and get a little closer to what, you know, God's will is for your life. It's really good. I am fasting for the most part from Facebook. I just visit one or two, but I don't look at my friends' news feed because that's the stuff that stresses me out. So I just go to one or two groups and I'm off. So anyway, so that's what we're doing. But anyhow, so that's all I have. Thank y'all for coming by. This video went a little longer than I thought. But thanks for coming by. I really appreciate you coming by every week. Like I said, if you have any questions for me, let me know. And if you want to see, I thought about doing a little stitch video on my stitching setup. So if that's something you might be interested in, I know I'm saying it, this is the end, but anyway, something you might be interested in, let me know. I'll get my daughter-in-law to help me film that so you can see where I stitch. it's on the sofa, but I can show you kind of how I'm organizing things so that I am not losing anything and I know what I'm stitching for the week. So anyway, thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys next week, Lord willing. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye.